In 2023, I got a new job and it really sucked because I spent most of my days working, and when I didn't work, I just sort of kept eating food and I didn't even really sleep. I slept like 4 to 3 hours max every single night, and sometimes my boss would text me at 12 at midnight and ask me if I was coming into the office the next day, and when I told him no because I had a doctor's appointment, he got really mad at me. So safe to say, I kind of just didn't do much except for try to treat my chronic sadness with a lot of food. And I kind of kept that habit up ever since then because, even now, usually what I do most of the day is just worry about work and money and do university stuff and work and money and university stuff. And so I kind of don't have a lot of joy in my day-to-day life except for food. I'm telling you this because I'm currently being evaluated in a court of law on whether or not I have gained weight.
Guilty.
The punishments for my crime include things like not being allowed to sweat in public and also not being allowed to eat. Because if I would do either of those things, I would be promoting an unhealthy lifestyle. Because clearly the skinny mukbangers who eat 5,000 calories a meal and then immediately vomit it all up have a much healthier relationship with food than me. I get it, looking at fat people is really annoying, but have you ever considered that maybe fat people also are people? I think we live in a really interesting time where people usually cannot afford to join any trends or reward themselves outside of food, and therefore things like matcha and Dubai chocolate explode because people really do not have the time or energy or money to do anything else except for eat food. And I know it's terrible of me to ask people to be accepting of fat people because that's akin to like a moral thought crime, but I really think that there's an issue here. Whenever I tell people that most men, statistically speaking, sort of just look like me in the sense that they are fat and bald and just sort of flabby looking, everyone immediately gets mad at me as if I'm the cause of that problem, which of course I directly am. I am the one who goes into your room at night and plucks out all of your hair and puts it on your crotch. But outside of that, a lot of people, a lot of men, think that not being ripped and like a gym bro or whatever is like some sort of moral sin. I don't know if you ever heard about this, but going to the gym a lot requires a lot of money, time, and energy, and I'm going to give you 3 guesses as to which class of people cannot afford to do that. If your guess was poor people and the working class, that's wrong. It's actually lazy people, and it's completely your fault that you're not a ripped alpha male. I think fit and muscular people in general invest a lot of effort and time into keeping their appearance as pristine as possible, which is commendable, but is also a huge sacrifice in the modern time that we live in. Hey, it's me editing here, and I completely forgot to mention that a lot of fat phobia also just comes from other fat people who hate themselves so much that they cannot fathom that other fat people don't want to join their circle hate of self-flagellation. Similarly, a lot of fit people have sacrificed so much for their fitness that they expect others to do the same as if it's their holy duty. They have suffered so much that they just want everyone else on the planet to also suffer, as if they're Ramatra from Overwatch or some shit. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that being a miserable sack of shit is not bodily exclusive. You can do it with a big belly or a six-pack. Actually, being a horrible person is open to everyone. And I don't think we should get mad at fat people for not wanting to do that. I have friends, I have hobbies, I do sports from time to time, and I also have a relationship. All of which are things that require time out of my private life and also energy, which I just simply cannot divert or invest into going to the gym 3 times a day, meal prepping, and also planning my entire gym bro fitness journey and my food. I'm sorry. I know that's like the most horrible thing I can do as a man, not getting ripped and not hitting my protein goals. But I don't know how to tell you this, but I don't have the money or time to do that. And I'm kind of tired of acting as if this is like somehow the most horrible, anti-moral, unhealthy thing possible on the planet. Because you know what's actually unhealthy for your mind? It's spending all of your free time in the gym, and when you're not in the gym, you're thinking about the gym, and when you're not thinking about the gym, you're thinking about protein, and when you're not thinking about protein, you're thinking about your macros, and when you're not thinking about your macros, you're thinking about whatever gym clothes you're wearing, or when you're not thinking about whatever gym clothes you're wearing, you're thinking about sucking your own dick because you're so beautiful. Anyway, if this was somehow offensive to you as a fit person, I invite you to write an email complaint to me after you're done with your next superset. Oh look, it's time for your sit-ups again. How would I solve the problem of people getting way too fat way too fast lately? Well, personally, I would construct a society that glorifies overconsumption and forces people to partake into rampant capitalism that constantly reinforces their own needs and cravings and tells them to buy, and eat, and then shames and punishes those same people for actually doing that. Oh, wait. Anyway, I told myself that if I got through this entire video, I would allow myself to eat one almond. I know, I'm such a pig.